So I grabbed you. I was like, yo, let's answer some questions, some business questions. What inspired you and Marcus to start Brother Dale?
There's a lot of different angles I can take this.
It really could, yeah.
What inspired us to start Brother Dale was the trajectory of social media. We were making a lot of ads for TV and different networks, but social media was growing, and a lot of brands needed content and figured it wouldn't stop. So Brother Dale was born out of us being good friends and then eventually hiring more friends and now beyond that. But it was to fill the need of content, and we've been pretty successful so far in filling that need for dozens and dozens of clients.
What was your vision when you first started, and how has that vision changed?
I think the vision's sort of been the same. Marcus and I are both big thinkers, big visionaries. If it's changed any, it's probably gotten bigger. Now that we have people on our team that are super close to us now and have been here for a while, our vision for them as well has been incorporated into the picture. So it's beyond just us, it's for the team and for our clients. Yeah, our vision's huge.
Big. It's gonna be big.
Yeah, it's gonna be
big.
huge.
It'll be huge. I love it. So define company and mission.
I would say that our mission is to create content that converts and have ads that scale businesses. So if we're going to create content that converts, we got to do all the proper stuff to make that happen. So that includes, meeting with clients, figuring out the brand, doing the pre-production, doing any pre-production revisions, and then obviously executing on the day of filming or the multiple days of filming, and then obviously into the editing to make sure everything is right to get that final product. And then having our ads team take everything with the strategy we had in pre-production to then fulfill the ad campaigns or the end result.
How do you approach tough decisions? Because you guys have to make those sometimes.
We approach tough decisions in the business or with clients or the team. You have to come into it thinking not too high, not too little, but coming in from a level perspective of what's reality. Maybe the situation with the client didn't go well, and we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and be like, where did we go wrong for the client? And we have to take ownership of that. If it's a tough decision with one of the team members where maybe they're having trouble somewhere, issue somewhere, you just have to be real and open and honest in conversations, because there's nothing better than honesty, whether it's with the client, with the teammate, with anyone really. Having those open conversations about where you're at in business or where you're wanting to go or what we need to do to finish this project. Sometimes that comes even with the creative side of business with constructive criticism is like, hey man, the edit's dope, but we got to fix the coloring or else, the client's not going to like it because of their previous work. We have to dial it into their brand. So sometimes in that perspective, it comes down to just, again, being level and being on that mission of creating the content that converts and the ads at scale.
Should creators be able to take criticism well?
Yeah, even the greatest of all times, they have coaches, they have people that give them criticism, and whether you like it or not, or in the moment you're not happy about it, people are trying to make you better. And there are people who give criticism that maybe don't know what they're talking about. You shouldn't take criticism from people that have never done what you're doing. So if you're a good creative and you're actually giving another creative criticism, it's probably for the better, right? If you're coming from a place of trying to make the project better, to have the end result better, or to make them better. But you gotta be careful, because there's a lot of people who want to criticize things in and outside of business and in and outside of creative. But I think people should generally take it well, but take it from people that should be giving it and are experienced.
People that know their stuff.
Yeah.
Just not Joe Schmo down the street or Billy Bob or whatever.
I would say our team does good at giving constructive criticism and try to help each other get better all the time.
How are you guys managing, the growth of Brother Dale?
Yeah, we're managing the growth and scale at Brother Dale with investing back into the team, whether that's gear, new hires to alleviate stress on the business where there's a lot of work that needs to be done because everyone needs content pretty much and everybody wants marketing. We have to have people to fill those deliverables. I feel like we went through a really crazy growth spurt where we had a ton of stuff going on and put a lot of stress on the team. The team did a great job, but with that being said, you can't maintain that over a long period of time. We can do spurts of that, but it's reinvesting back into the procedures, the processes, the team, the structure. Tyler, one of the business partners, flew into town. So me, Michael, Tyler, and Marcus had time to sit down, look at the business, work on the business, put policies into place, talk to team members, figure out what the next step of action is going to be, who we need to hire in key areas. All of that came from the time, and that time was well spent. And so I would say those things are going to help us go to the next level.
Typical day is for you. You come in and what do you do?
So every day feels like it can be a little different, but I'll tell you the typical day of what's happened this week. I wake up early. It could be anywhere around 5:30. If I was out late shooting, maybe 6, but generally it's wake up around 5:30, and then I'll get up, make breakfast, come into the studio, have a bunch of coffee, and get to work. I like that period. I have a block on my phone from like 6 to 10, where it's just my time in my office upstairs now, where I block off those 4 hours where I can hammer a ton of work, whether it's creating a new pitch deck, sending out emails, working on tasks and deliverables, and looking at everything from a big perspective. All of that gets done in that time. And then we do stuff like this: film, prep for other shoots, help the team out, review edits that they've been working on in the morning or from yesterday, or responding to clients. And then the rest of the day is up to maybe productions or, more meetings. Like today I have like 4 more interviews for new hires and stuff like that. So, the days are always changing. I feel like as we grow, my days are going to look more like the admin side of the business. I've been on a lot of shoots this week. I've done a lot of editing as well. But as we grow, I'm kind of stepping out of that role and doing more of these, key business items of working on the business so everything can run smoothly.
Do you think a person should plan out or block off 4 hours of the day and just dial in like you do? Or should they work all day and be dead all night?
I think someone should block off time because it won't let other things come into the picture. Obviously, if I have an important meeting that I need to take in that 4 hours, that is like, we can only meet this time and we're going to like land a client because of it. Obviously that can change, but I pretty much try to stick to that time block of me doing my work. Because if I'm able to cram all that work in and have my best thoughts in the morning and just feel energized, I'm going to do it the best time I feel like it. And the rest of the day I leave open to putting out fires, to doing client stuff, to going on shoots or whatever it needs to be. But yeah, I think someone should block out their day so that way they can stay on track for what needs to get done. Because if you just have all day, I have to get this stuff done, you're just gonna end up being procrastinating, and it doesn't always work out the best.
Because the days go by quick. It's kind of ridiculous how this.
And also, no matter who you are, you want to get to a point where you can love your work, get it done, but also love anything outside of work and your other hobbies as well.
True, yeah.
But I still do other stuff throughout the day. I'll do stuff at night. I mean, right now it's just all hands on deck.
How do you balance working in the business and working on the business?
How I balance working on the business and working in the business is a little tricky right now because there's so much that needs to be done in the business. And the way I balance it is look at what the deliverables are, look what has to be done. I try to work on all the things that are on the business in the morning in my time block, and work on everything else throughout the day or when it's very needed for due dates. That's for inside the business. So yesterday I had my time in the morning. Then right after that, I helped Perry color grade a video because he had other stuff to do, so we could get another edit done. And that color grading took me an hour to make sure it was perfect. Yeah. And then yesterday I had to plan a shoot in the afternoon, and that's working in the business. And then I had to go to the shoot, and I was the one who shot it all. So that was like 2 hours of my time after the work hours to go film that with the models, 7 models, 8 models, and the balance right now is maybe not the best, but it's what has to get done, and we're finding success in it.
What are the strategies you found most effectively building and maintaining the business?
If people don't have a way of knowing what they're going to be doing, things get very lost. People don't know the next steps in the process. And as you grow and you have more team members, there's a lot more air for a lot of lag time where people don't know what they're working on next or don't have the proper notes or information to work on what's next. So there needs to be systems in place of how you can streamline everything, as well as planning ahead. I feel like that's huge. Living in the moment, trying to plan at the seat of your pants is not a good way to go. So that's also a great strategy. And these are simple. We've had countless talks with freelancers who are like, how do I scale? How do I make more money? I'm like, you're not going to scale if you don't pay others to do work. Yeah. Because there's only so much you're going to be able to do, and you're going to be capped at. And that happens in a business too. If you don't invest back into the business and can scale up, then you're going to be wherever you're at in the business. And that goes for pretty much everyone, but especially goes for freelancers that are wanting to go to the next level.
That's true. Some of the systems that we use here.
The softwares we use that help with our systems are Monday.com for all project management. So every client has the projects we're working on. It has who's working on it. It has all the client's info, the branding information. It has the due dates for those projects we're working on. And that's all inside Monday.com. For communication, we use Slack. Every client has their own channel inside of Slack, and that allows us to communicate effectively, have everyone in there, and just talk about work and projects in there so we can go back and easily find stuff and have quicker response time, because there's a lot of things we need sometimes immediately for ads to go live or whatever. We're able to ping the client and say, hey, we need an answer on this ASAP so we can get this ad up, or whatever it may be. And then your personal phone's not being blown up with work stuff all the time in regards to like your iMessage or whatever. Some of the other softwares you use on the ad side are like Motion App, Agency Analytics, and multiple other things that we use to really streamline reports, communication, and stuff like that. Keep it simple, simple scales.
How do you stay ahead of the competition in our industry?
You stay ahead of competition by consistently doing what you're good at over and over again. And what I mean by that is if you try to go off and do these other things you don't really know, other services or whatever, you're going to end up wasting time and energy and have to do so much work to figure out what that is. Stick to your bread and butter, keep growing what you're already good at and scale up in that. And don't worry about the competition. Take care of your clients, charge more, hire your team, invest back, and you'll look up and the competition is going to be looking up to you.
I know you get busy a lot. So how do you maintain work-life balance?
I have the best wife in the world, because even though there are times where she does get upset just because of all the work that has to be done and the time maybe we haven't spent together that week, she also does understand at the end of that it's what it takes and where we're at right now. But also, I have the best wife in the world because the time we do spend together is so amazing. We travel, we love to travel, and the time that we get to travel, we just have that deeper connection, have so many meaningful conversations. But my wife and I are pretty good at having time together, even if it's small or a lot of time. We just spend it well and we have a great time. And also, she loves Brother Dale. She's put a lot of her heart into it, and she does work here part-time, so that does help getting to see each other. And she has a passion to see it grow. She cares about everyone on the team, and she cares about the company and where it's going to go. And because she cares about that, I think that it really helps with right now not being this balance that people like to call between work-life balance, because it is our life, and it's her life as well, and she loves it, so that really does help.
So what's some advice that you would give to like a young entrepreneur or a young kid that's watching this, that's in high school, and it's like, I want to start a business?
Whether you're young, middle-aged, older, and you want to start a business, I just say do it. Find your MVP, which is your minimal viable product. It's the most minimal way to get into the market, whatever it is. If it's picking up a camera, that's your minimal viable product, is having a camera and go taking photos. If it's t-shirts, get 10 printed, see if people like them. But just try it. But also know yourself that, are you really someone who wants to put in the time and effort? But there's no sense in not trying. Life's too short, the world's too big, the internet's amazing where you can grow just about anything nowadays. So I would just say, get started, see if you like it. If you hate it, then don't do it. But if you know yourself and you know you can put in the effort, keep going, and I wish you the best of luck. Godspeed.
All right, bro. Peace. So if you guys like this, go comment, subscribe. Peace.